All right, let's get right into it. Today, we're talking about a tool, an approach really, that completely changes how we see information. We're going to be talking all about data visualization and how it helps us turn totally confusing numbers into something crystal clear.
You know that feeling, right? You open up a spreadsheet or some big report and it's just a wall of numbers staring back at you. Rows and columns that seem to go on forever. It is so easy to feel completely lost in that sea of data, where nothing really stands out. So how do we navigate all that? Well, this is where our journey really begins. We're going to explore the very thing that acts like our compass, guiding us from the utter chaos of raw data to the beautiful clarity of actually understanding it.
Because that's the core of the problem, isn't it? A single number all by itself doesn't really mean a whole lot. 1,000 numbers are just 1,000 disconnected facts. Without any context, without a way to see how they all fit together, it's all just noise.
And here's the solution. To put it simply, data visualization is the art of turning all that noise into a picture. It's all about showing data in a graphical way, like a chart or a map, with one single goal: to make it way, way easier to understand. Just look at this. It makes it so tangible. On the left, you've got the raw numbers. Sure, you can read them. But on the right, with just a simple bar chart, you don't just read the data, you see the story. You instantly get the trend, you see that little dip in Q3, and then wow, that huge spike in Q4. Your brain processes that visual in a fraction of a second. And this quote from Carly Fiorina just nails the whole point. Data is just the starting point, the raw material. When you visualize it, you turn it into useful information. But the real magic, the goal, is when that information gives you an insight, that aha moment where you suddenly see the story the numbers have been trying to tell you all along.
Okay, so now that we've got a handle on what data visualization is, let's talk about what it actually helps us do. This part is like a journey of discovery, where we get to see what these visuals can truly reveal to us.
So what are we really unlocking here? Well, for starters, we're spotting trends and patterns that would be totally invisible in a spreadsheet. We can also instantly identify outliers, those weird data points that just don't fit in and often tell you something really important is going on. It helps us see the relationships between things, and maybe most importantly, it lets us tell a really clear and convincing story.
And this whole process of discovery usually follows a pretty simple path. It just starts when you see a pattern in a chart. That visual immediately makes you ask a question. Why is that peak there? Or what's with that dip? And it's that curiosity, that question, that sends you down the path to finding the real insight.
Let's use this as a quick example. Here's a chart for website visits. What's the very first thing you notice? Of course, it's that massive spike on Saturday and Sunday. You can't miss it. So that immediately leads to the question, why are weekends so busy? And the answer to that is your big insight. Maybe your ads run on weekends, or maybe your product is just a weekend kind of thing. The visual is what kicked off the entire discovery. And this is so, so important to remember. Data visualization is not about decoration. It's not about splashing some color on a report to make it look pretty. It's about function. It's about making data understandable, making it actionable. It's about making it powerful. It's about giving your numbers a voice.
Which brings us to our final thought for today. Think about it. Every single data set, whether it's for your job, your personal budget, or some big scientific project, it has stories hiding inside of it. Stories about huge opportunities, hidden risks, and surprising truths, all just waiting for someone to see them. So the real question I want to leave you with is this: what stories are hiding in your data?